What's up, CEOs? It is our time for the weekly free training for auto dealers provided by the Auto Dealer Business School. If you're watching this right now, then you are probably watching the replay. Do me a favor and just type in the comments, what's up? Like, hey, I'm out here. I'm watching the replay or replay, something like that, to let me know you're watching. I am Shamel. Let me introduce myself. I'm Shamel, and I started the Auto Dealer Business School because I'm an auto dealer. And when I started out, I was struggling. And when I was struggling, I was like, why is there not an Auto Dealer Business School to show me how to put all these moving parts together? Because there are a lot of moving parts. And I appreciate that more after having taken my CE class this week. And the CE class is the continuing education class that you must take to renew your license. And then when I was in that class, I was like, dang, like there are a lot of moving parts, huh? I took this class for the first time from the perspective of a beginning auto dealer. And I was like, man, if I was a beginning auto dealer, I would totally be overwhelmed. And I was, as a beginning auto dealer, I was excited and I was overwhelmed. So I was like, okay. There needs to be an auto dealer business school to teach beginning auto dealers how to sell some good cars so that if my grandmama asked me to sell somebody a car, I feel confident that I got good cars and that I'm making a lot of money so I don't have to struggle. And I got happy customers, right? Like that's the life. So that's what the Auto Dealer Business School does. And so far, we have almost 200 members, and I've been a speaker at the National Auto Dealer Association conference, and we are A+ BBB rated with the Better Business Bureau and growing. So what we're talking about today is how to sell your first 5 cars. If you missed the last video, it was about how to buy your first 5 cars. This one is about how to sell your first 5 cars. And let me check to make sure everything is good because I am not seeing any comments. I see nothing. So let me make sure it is all going down just like it should. Okay, I think it is. But if you type in a comment and I am not able to get back to you, then I didn't see it. So I will answer comments later. All right. So before I get started with how to sell your first 5 cars, I want to encourage you, I invite you to sign up for this free online workshop that is going down, and it is how to buy and sell your first 5 cars. Okay. How to buy and sell your first 5 cars. A lot of time when I'm doing these videos, I say, I don't have a lot of time to go into it. Well, I'll have time on the workshop, right? So that's exactly what it's for. We're going to be there a little over an hour, and I'm going to go deeper into how to buy and sell your first 5 cars for those who are stuck in the buying process or the sales process, or you haven't even started. You're just trying to get an idea of what this looks like, what it entails. Okay. So I will put the link in the description. Sign up for that workshop. I am going to go through the purchase and sales process. Also, your plan to get to 6 figures in 12 months. Also the tools and the tech you need, right? And like how it all fits together. So this is like, if you've been wondering like how all these moving parts fit together, like how's it all relevant, what it look like when it's done, right? Then this is the workshop for you. Can't wait. Hey Judah, what's up? I'm glad I see your comment because I couldn't see anything. I didn't see anybody on. So, okay, it's working. It's good. It's straight. So, yes, join the workshop. I am excited about it because I've been trying to find a workshop that really gets to the bottom of it. Like, what's at the bottom of all this? And the bottom is how you purchase and how you sell. That just is the whole business, right? And all the other stuff builds on top of that. So if you don't have the purchase and the sales part down, then you need some work, right? You're in trouble, really. So let's get that down so that you can make the money that you wanted to make with your license, and that you can implement the plans that you have for your business and for your growth, your wealth strategy, right? All right, so how to sell your first 5 cars. So last week we talked about how to buy. We left off at transporting to your reconditioning station or process, or whoever's doing your reconditioning, right? So I'm picking up there, because this, how to sell your first cars, or your first 5 cars, how to sell them. We're gonna start with recon, okay? So I know there are people out there who are like, don't do nothing to these cars, like just buy them and flip them, don't even clean them, right? And that's one method, and to be honest, I did try that, but it was just so hard to sell that way. It was harder to sell. I also didn't really feel good about it. I also felt like I had to go through a lot more buyers to get the right buyer, because basically you got to get somebody who has, I don't want to say have no standards or is desperate, but it's kind of like that. And the reality is, you don't really want those kind of customers in your organization. Like, you want the customers that have a standard, right? That's crazy. Who says that? A lot of people say that. That is the advice that a lot of people give, because we're selling cash cars. They're like, you should be lucky you can get a car this cheap, right? Which, agreed, like, selling cash cars is essential, and it is a good thing that we can sell those cars and you get them so cheaply, right? So I am talking about cash cars. Let me clarify, right? If you're selling a $15,000 car, you better clean it and recondition it. But that's the mentality when it comes to cash cars. It's like, they lucky it's even affordable. And, I guess that's one way to look at it, but the kind of customer it brings is not the kind of customer that grows your company. That's not the customer who's going to refer you. That's not, like, you have to think strategically about growth, even at this point, right? When you're in the recon process, who are you trying to attract as a customer, and how do they build up your company, and how do they tear it down? And the customer who would accept a car that's not even clean, right, is potentially a customer that is not going to add any value to your company. And in the beginning stages, you need power customers. You need customers who add value and help you grow quickly. Okay. So my advice is, you got to recondition these cars. And that's what recon means. If you don't know, it means reconditioning. It means repairing, making safe, and cleaning, so you meet a certain standard, right? So in the Auto Dealer Business School programs, I take you through an inspection process that is a 32-point inspection process. Thanks, Judah, for pointing that out, right? It's a 32-point inspection process. And once you go through that inspection process, you have the beginning of your recon process, okay? Because in the inspection process, you should have already identified what needs to be fixed and what you are willing to fix. And so you pass that information on to recon and say, okay, these are the things that I'm willing to fix. And you've pretty much already priced them out in terms of parts and labor, all right? So now you're in the recon process. You have your budget, you know what you're going to fix, you know how much it's going to cost you, how much your parts are going to cost, how much your labor is going to cost, right? So then you hand that over to a mechanic, right? You have a mechanic you work with. 32 points like Magic and the Lakers. You're so silly. Okay, but yes, I like it. All right, so you hand that over to a mechanic. Now I know a lot of people who schedule strategy sessions with me, watch these videos, are mechanics, okay? And because you're a mechanic and because you know the ins and outs of cars, you've decided to sell cars and become a used car dealer. And you're thinking that, oh, well, I'll just use my expertise as being a mechanic to grow my business. And I think that that is smart and that is a great thought. But the problem comes in if you are your mechanic for your business, because you are wearing too many hats. You are creating a bottleneck for your company that will, if it hasn't already, slow down your sales and your sales process, okay? Because you have to buy the cars, then after you buy the cars, then you have to fix the cars, and after you fix the cars, then you have to market the cars, right? So these are the hats that you're wearing if you are building a business with a small staff or with just you. You have to wear the acquisitions hat, the recon hat, and the sales hat, right? In just the bare minimum. So you got to get one of them hats away immediately. And the one is the recon. So work with the mechanic. Okay. I will talk more in detail in the workshop about how to find a mechanic, what kind of mechanic is great to work with, but you need a mechanic, really like 2 or 3 in your pocket that you can call on, because we are in times where people are getting sick. And you have to have a backup because your production doesn't stop. So you have to plan for that. All right. Yes. So after your mechanic, so you work out with your mechanic. Either you're getting the parts and ordering the parts, or your mechanic is getting the parts and ordering the parts. But you need to have parts vendors that you get your parts from, okay? Because you're going to be buying a lot of parts for your reconditioning process. So you need to set up some vendors that you go to that you can rely on to get parts from, all right? And we'll talk more about that also in the workshop. Then after your mechanic you have the parts, your mechanic has put the labor in to fix the car. The car looks ready. Mechanic tests to make sure that the things that were fixed were actually fixed, right? If you live in a state with emissions or inspection, this is the time now to make sure the car passes emissions and inspection if it hadn't already, right? If some of the things that you're fixing are emissions related, then this is the time to make sure that that's good. Once you know that that's good, once you know all the repairs are done, then you detail the car. You don't detail the car before because your mechanic is going to get it dirty cleaning it, right? So you're going to detail the car and get it clean. Now, I admitted something to someone I was talking to. We had a mentoring session in the 6-figure car dealer program Tuesday. And I was talking to one of the guys in the program and telling him that I really believe that many people buy the cars I sell because they say it's the cleanest car they have seen. And that alone is a standard that sets that car, the car that I'm selling, apart from every other car. And I like it. I'll take it. So I'm saying that to say, set yourself apart and at least have a clean car. Like these people out here selling cars that they ain't even clean, y'all. Like that's a low bar. Like set yourself apart and just clean the car, okay? And I got the process that I use inside the program so you can go through step by step. And I'm not even saying you clean the car, okay? Because the process is laborious, right? It's long, okay? It's an in-depth process to clean the car, like you giving somebody like a newer experience with your car. It's a long process. So something else that I was telling the guy in the mentoring session is get yourself a detailer. And I'm not talking about a company that you take your cars to. I'm talking about teenagers in the neighborhood. With the videos in the program, you can train them on how to detail the cars. And teenagers are having problems finding jobs that they can get to and that they can do. So fill that gap as a community leader and start employing some of these teenagers. They need to know how to work. Okay, they sitting around here in the neighborhood, want money, okay, doing what they need to do to get money. Be there to, help nurture them and give them a job. And in return, they clean every car you have the way you want it clean, okay? Yes, clean sells, Judah, clean sells before fix sells. So at the very least, clean the cars. So any questions? I feel like I'm going on and on. But I have a lot, this is a lot, and I'm trying to get through it all. And that's why I'm encouraging you to sign up for the workshop, because I am kind of like, boop, 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 boop. But I want you to get this because lots of people are stuck in this process. And so lots of people actually get stuck in the recon process too. Either they don't have the money, they don't know what to fix, they didn't include repairs in the inspection process. So now they're like stuck in a situation where the repairs is gonna cost more than they expected, and they're gonna have less profit. And then that makes you feel some type of way now about this car. Like, is it even worth it? Maybe I should just wholesale it, right? So if you skip that inspection step, you can get stuck in this recon step. So this is really just a follow-up from your whole sales process. Okay, I just want you to know that, right? So recon, after it is fixed, cleaned, passed emissions or inspection, right? It's time to market it. It's ready to sell and ready to sell right now. It's time to market it. First step in marketing is pictures. Second step is listing it, right? Now, a lot of people get stuck in this part because they're like, where do I list it? Lots of places to list it. If you have a DMS, they actually list a lot of those places and integrate with a lot of those websites where you can just upload your inventory with the pictures to those sites. A DMS is a dealer management software or system, right? And they automate a lot of this marketing process. So if you have a DMS, then you're good there. Lean on your DMS to list. A lot of people get stuck in this marketing process because they don't know how to price the vehicle, right? If you have a DMS, again, that will help you in pricing the vehicle competitively. However, if you have followed my advice so far, or if you're in the program, then you know you've already figured out the price in the inspection process in the beginning before you even bought the vehicle, right? And that's really where you need to know how much you're selling it for, is before you buy the vehicle, all right? Lots of people get stuck there. Lots of people get stuck in, they market the car and then it's not moving. No inquiries, no one is like, yes, this is a car for me. You have to actually market. Like, market means like selling through reaching out to people. So you have to like understand what information about this car people want to know that would make them want to call or text or inquire about it, right? If it's the car for them. So you actually like have to put a listing together that's like selling the car. Okay. So we do, go through that in the programs in the Auto Dealer Business School. Like, you got to actually sell the car in the listing. Okay. And then the other part of this process that get people stuck is they're like, okay, I'm not getting many hits on this vehicle, and that could be visibility. Not enough people are seeing that your vehicle is available. So you got to fix that either by listing it in more places or by helping your listings get more views, okay? Because it is visibility. Like, you got to have more people looking at your car to get sales, to find the person who is the one to buy the car, right? So Judah says, good stuff. Miss Shamel, you share the game with simplicity. Great. I'm glad I shared with simplicity. Because yes, it is simple. And I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's just like anything else in life. You want people to buy, you need to sell, right? You need to show them what they're buying. Pictures, great pictures. Like, we walk through in the program the specifics about each picture. You got to have a lot of pictures, especially nowadays with online and scamming and all this and that, right? So yeah, I'm glad it's simple. I'm glad. Because yes, I want it to be simple, because I want you to take this and I want you to implement it. Because it's time to, like, stop playing around with this thing. Like, you gonna sell cars, right? All right. So any questions about marketing? That's a lot of people get stuck. Pricing, listing, and then visibility in marketing. Okay. Test drive. After you market, you're going to get somebody who's like, let me see it. What's up, Hassan? Good morning. Somebody gonna be like, let me see it. I'm ready. I need to know what's this car like, right? Is this the car I'm about to buy? So then you have to have a test drive process, okay? Whatever works for you. Now, in the program, I give you a test drive process. That's my test drive process that works for me. It kind of leads me to the sale. It is like a seamless step to the sale. And I think because I developed a systematic test drive process, most people who come out end up buying the vehicle. Like, I end up selling the vehicle to the very first person who comes to see it most times. And I think it's because of the how I screen in the marketing process, and how I conduct the test drive, how I systemize it. Okay, so you need to do your test drive. Now, after your test drive, somebody's gonna be like, I want it. This my car. What I need to do? Let me give you the money. Let's do this, right? Now, game on. Judah, what marketing have you done that has and has not worked for you over the years? Oh, good question. So for me, like let go and offer up never produce a buyer. But there are people who say, you know, they get buyers from there. I don't get buyers from there. That's I think those are the only two sites I would have to say that don't really work for me over the years. So yes, now somebody is like, let me give you the money. You need to decide how you're taking money. Don't take checks is my recommendation because people can cancel checks. Checks can be fraudulent. I would even say like money orders and stuff, but you know, you can call and check up on money orders and see if it's a real money order. Like you just gotta make sure you do your due diligence and stuff like that because you know, we are in scam season is high right now. So you just got to make sure you cover your bases, make sure the whatever form of payment they give you is real and you can take to the bank. Okay. And then after they give you payment, then I start the sales process. If I don't have proper payment, we're not going forward. Okay. Like I'm not in the business of just doing paperwork. Like we gotta have proper payment, right? So after proper payment, then move forward with the paperwork. So now it's time to start entering in your buyer's details, right? If you have the right DMS, you can do all this from your phone. Scan the driver's license, enter in the, you know, the details, anything that's incorrect, correct it. The information will automatically populate to your forms that you have pre-set up in your DMS, right? And if you are looking for a DMS, a dealer management system, I will put one, I'll put a link for you to get a demo, but it's only for licensed dealers. You have to be a licensed dealer with a dealership name and address, right? No home address. You got to be licensed. No just auction access. You got to be licensed to get this demo. Okay. I can set you up with a demo of an awesome DMS that I'm using. And other people have been like, thank you for putting me on because it's awesome. Okay. So you know, all the paperwork will populate with the buyer's info, the car info, your company info, right? So then you print out the paperwork or you can do digital sign. You can print it out. Now, I know a lot of people don't sell from their location. So print it out, get you a portable printer if that's what you do. So you can still print your paperwork and you can print your temp tag if necessary, right? Which is necessary for most people in most states. So you're going to print your paperwork or you can do the e-sign thing and it's connected with your DMS also, okay? If you're going to do e-sign everything. If you're going to do paperwork, everything. The state, once you turn in these papers, they don't like, you know, they like consistency. That's all I'm going to say. Consistency is key. And I think that that's really true in all of this that I'm saying. And that's a good point because the application process for your license is actually preparing you for this paperwork process. So you know how in the licensing process, when everything has to be consistent, everything has to look exactly the same, numbers have to be exactly how they were in every place. That's exactly what you do on your paperwork for selling a car, okay? So you were practicing in the application process to do this paperwork. It just has to be consistent, okay? So then once you do the paperwork, you get them to sign, you give them a copy of their paperwork. Why? Because you're a professional, right? You've been trained by the Auto Dealer Business School. You have, you know, done professional development and professionals do things in a professional way. You're a professional auto dealer. You give them their documents for the sale, you know, possibly in a folder from your company, right? You know, that's up to you how you want to do it. I know people run their business differently, but what's professional for you? Just be professional. Okay. And then, after the sale, you follow up like the next day. Lots of complaints happen on the state website because the people can't ever get in touch with the dealer again, right? But if you follow up like the very next day, then all, everybody thinks dealers are trying to get over. Everybody, right? Auto dealers have a bad name, right? And so if you're following up automatically, everything that person experiences with their car, they don't necessarily think, oh, this auto dealer is trying to get over, because you followed up. Okay, so follow up. That's a professional tip. Okay, as a professional, follow up next day in the morning. I wouldn't let too many days pass, right? Because then, they might be building up some feelings or whatever, because it's a used car. Used cars have problems. They're not new cars, right? Follow up the next day. And then after that, you want to organize all your paperwork. Your deal jacket or your folder, your online folder. That's what I teach in the program. You have your documents also online, right? You got to keep those documents for a certain number of years. So you want to make sure that you have everything you need in your file. And yeah, and then you want to, get on to the next deal, right? Yes, follow up leads to referrals, customer retention, and good reviews. Yes. I was going to say, I'm glad you said that, because I was like, I did forget to mention reviews in the follow-up process. But yes, that's where you get your reviews, right? Because people are only going to post when something bad happens. So they can post when something good happened because you followed up and you said, hey, post that I followed up, or post that, this was a good transaction. Just post a good review, right? So yes, and I am telling you this, you will kill your business the fastest with them customer complaints and bad reviews. Like, I don't care. You're going to still get a couple of sales here and there after you are trashed online, right? You're going to get a couple, but you would have missed so many that you don't even know you missed, because there are people who skipped over your car because they looked at reviews and was like, I ain't even doing it. Because this market, the cash car market, they don't have time. They don't have the extra cash. So if this thing don't work out, they can go and buy another one. Okay, I'm going to drop 3, 4, 5 G's here. Oh, okay, that didn't work out. Oh, I got another 3, 4, 5 G's. That's not the case in this market. So, people are really like doing their due diligence. Like, am I about to waste my money or not? Okay. And I know that there are lots of other dealers who are like, just, sell the car, don't fix it, don't clean it. But then they end up having bad reviews, and then they end up having to close down, change the name. I mean, they go through a lot of stuff that they don't tell you about. Like, they give you that advice, but they change the name of their business. Like, they have to, because the business is not growing because they got such a bad reputation out there, right? And after a while, nobody is going to want to deal with that or go there, right? Whew. I just wanted to make sure I got all that out. That is a lot, and that's really just the surface. There are a lot more details. I'll go through more of those at the workshop. Make sure you sign up for the workshop, how to buy and sell your first 5 cars. I'll put the link in the description. But if you are out here selling cars, you need this information. I really do think you do. Okay, like, I think you need this information. So get this information, implement this information. If you need help, if you're licensed, you can schedule a strategy session. I'll help you put together a plan that's for you. Yeah, and help you to be successful. So any questions, put them in the comments. You got any questions, y'all? Hassan, I see a couple other people on, didn't say, hey, y'all. Hey, hopefully you taking notes, and that's why you didn't say hey. But if there are no more questions, was this helpful? If this wasn't helpful, if you thought you were going to learn something else, then put it in the comments, because I'm doing the workshop, so I can definitely put it in the workshop, okay? Just let me know what you feel like you need to move forward in your business. Like I said before, giving me a thumbs down, that doesn't help me or you. Hey, good morning, Ramon. Yeah, it doesn't help me or you. So like, save that energy and put it towards just asking what you want to know about. Would you say it's best to accept cash only for cash cars? You mean like physical cash, or like Cash App, or are you specifying? But yes, I would say cash only, like no checks. Every once in a while I'll do a money order, but I I do verify the money order though, because like I said, people slick. I mean, these printers nowadays can print anything. Okay, 3D printer can print a couch. So I know you can print um, a fake money order, right? Or a fake check. Yes, cash money. Yes, cash money. You do want to make sure the cash money is real money. So, you know, have your counterfeit detectors with you so you can make sure it's cash, or take electronic payments that are cash and non-reversible. Okay, that's just my opinion. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. So like I said, there are a lot of moving parts, but in this workshop, I'm a visual person and I like to put things out visually. So I will do the same thing for you so you can see how all the parts go together, so you can kind of see the bigger picture, and then you can dive in and get going. Okay. Because sometimes it's hard to get going when you're like, but what's the bigger picture? Like, am I missing something? I don't know what to do first, second, third. Is this the right thing to do first? Or is this the thing I do last? Like, I don't know. Right. Let's answer all that at the workshop. So I will see you then. As always, I am praying for your success. I have to say, though, that prayers alone doesn't do it. You know, it's prayer with works. So you got to do the work, which is you got to follow the steps. And if you need help with the steps, I'm here with the steps. You are welcome, Judah. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate everyone here because you showed up for you. And I appreciate people like that, okay? Showing up for you. So let's get it, and let's be great, and let's be being out here selling some quality cars to happy customers and making lots of money. Okay. All right, y'all. Have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Bye.